my Google Adsense account was disabled. Is it fair? Starting early last year, I received an invitation from Google, who now owns YouTube, to carry ads in my most popular video, How to Program the Quadratic Formula on the Graphing Calculator. I was not opposed to the idea, but I had some copyright issues with this particular video. Then I created another video on the same subject. In this newer video, in addition to resolving the copyright issues, I made some other improvements as well. I ended up signing up for a Google Adsense account and started receiving ad revenue for this video. In addition, I was invited to sign all my videos up to be what Google calls monetized. All videos for which I thought I had no copyright issues, I signed up to be monetized. Google later came back and disallowed a couple of the videos because, in their judgment, I may not have had all the rights to all the content on those videos. Here are some of the ads carried by advertisers in my videos. Joseph A. Bank, presidential campaign politics, tutorial help, video gaming, new movies, and many other services and causes were touted in these ads. As part of my AdSense account, I had my own AdSense web page where I could see in a very updated time frame my earnings from the ads and the videos. As best as I could determine, depending on the ads and what viewers clicked, I received maybe about 70% or so of the ad revenues on average. The remaining approximately 30% was Google's share for finding the advertisers, setting up the ads, handling the money, providing the web page, and everything else they do to facilitate publishers like me earning from advertisers gaining access to my viewers. At the bottom is a graph of my ad revenue during the first part of November 2011. After being signed up for about 5 months, in late December I received this, my first check for about $121. Not a great deal of money for about 4 months of ads, but I thought it was nice to get revenue from something I'd been doing for free for 3 years just as part of being a teacher. I received a second check about 4 months later, also about $120, so that was a per day average of about $1 over that time frame. Then suddenly, about 3 weeks ago, I got this email message from the Google AdSense team informing me that my AdSense account had been disabled. The reason given was that it was determined that my account poses a risk of generated invalid activity. Then I was informed in the last paragraph that I could appeal their decision and find out more about invalid activity, and I was provided a link to that information. Immediately, the first thing that came to mind was the question, did I click on my own ads? On my own videos? I had heard that clicking on your own ads or getting others to click your ads was a quick way to get booted from AdSense. And that's understandable. I know I hadn't done that deliberately. I thought that maybe I had accidentally clicked an ad or something. I did a lot of research over the next few days. I saw quite a few videos from video creators who, like me, had their accounts disabled. Just about all said that it wasn't their fault, that they did nothing wrong. I did find one guy who briefly took up the topic of excessive page loads and page impressions, and I eventually figured out that this is probably where I got in trouble. The only relevant language I found from Google AdSense was here under the heading of this question, can viewing my own site create invalid page impressions? I figured out that it was violating this small passage here that probably got me in trouble. It says, and don't reload your pages excessively. Now I'll explain how I came to load pages excessively, at least in Google's estimation. This is in the upper right corner of my own YouTube homepage. It has my gdawgrapper name next to my photo icon. It has a little drop-down menu, and this is what that drop-down menu looks like. There are these 7 options to choose from. Up until a few weeks ago, I was in the habit of going to this menu choice, Settings. And this is what I see now by clicking Settings. It gives me my account status, and I can look up other things as well. But up until a few weeks ago, going to Settings also gave me my current number of subscribers. But, as you can see, that number of subscribers is no longer here. Not finding my number of subscribers anymore through Settings, I found that I could instead easily find my current number of subscribers by clicking My Channel from the drop-down menu. And when I click My Channel, this is what I saw. And this is what I was looking for in the upper right corner, the number of subscribers. The number here is now 605 of them. When this number changed, I would go check out who the new subscriber was, etc. This is a part of how I managed my YouTube channel and continue to manage it. The problem I got into here is this page. It's that this particular featured video using the matrices to solve systems of equations on the graphing calculator ran a video bar ad at the bottom of the video and also on the right side of the video. Since I sometimes would go here quickly several times a day, then go to my inbox or somewhere else, I'm pretty certain this activity is what got me flagged for excessive page loading, leading to my account being disabled. I guess this activity was evidence that I was trying to inflate my share of ad revenue by generating frequent page loading. I say guess because the messages from Google say that they cannot give the details of their examination because that would somehow give away their proprietary methods of detection. And that's part of what has been maddening about this situation. Rules of due process, evidence, etc. do not apply. Having figured all this out, I thought I had a pretty good explanation as to the basis for an appeal to their decision to disable my account, so I've filled out the fields of this appeal form, including my detailed explanation of what had happened. I felt that I had put together an excellent explanation that most reasonable human beings would accept as valid. However, I knew that this whole process is more computer-generated than operated by humans, and I could see in my research that appeals for reinstatement are very seldomly granted. And a little over 50 hours later, at about 3 a.m., I got this response, which is really what I expected, a denial of my appeal. To receive the response at that hour tells me that the decision was probably not reached by a human being, and even if it was a human being, it was made by a bleary-eyed, underpaid Google employee or outsourced employee somewhere in the middle of the night. It says, "Our specialists have confirmed that we're unable to reinstate your AdSense account." This message was, of course, strictly computer-generated. I don't believe there was anything I could have added or otherwise done to get a positive outcome to my appeal. Now, to answer the question that is in the title of this video, was it fair? My answer to the question is no, I don't think it was fair. I don't think it was fair because I had no bad intent, and I had a very good explanation in my appeal. Furthermore, I don't see how advertisers lost a penny or could have lost a cent based on my activity. Now at this stage, in many other of the videos I saw addressing the same topic, is where scorn is heaped upon Google. But I refuse to join in. I don't blame Google too much because of what their business model has to be in order for them to be profitable at this. In the overall ad business of Google, I was just a speck of their business, except that to say that my business was just a speck would be a big overstatement. Google was maybe making about 30 cents per day based on revenues from ads on my videos. For that 30 cents per day, they were providing me with my own AdSense account page, update emails, the responsibility of placing ads on my videos, the burden of monitoring my account, mailing checks, and maybe other things as well. I figured that if my page views were 100 to 1,000 times greater, so my business would qualify as a spec, then a human being might have called me to check out what was going on, or my appeal would have been handled more understandably. Google cannot afford to be very accommodating to revenue streams only making them 30 cents per day. Could I see Google Adsense re-inviting me to participate in their program? Perhaps eventually. My volume of views, if it continues to increase, might get Google's attention again as an opportunity for revenue. Or maybe, as more people's accounts get disabled, there will be a public outcry that creates pressure on Google to be more reasonable. Google has a concern for its public image. I read about a travel agency in Ireland that got its AdSense account reinstated after some bad publicity. There are a couple other things that could happen to move Google toward being more reasonable that I don't want to go into here. But gradually, after taking draconian measures with publishers, Google's hard-earned goodwill is suffering some erosion. As for how I feel about it, yeah, it hurts. I feel like I've been accused of shoplifting and was kicked out of a store without a fair trial. And I feel like there's nowhere I can go for justice within Google. But by comparison, my wife's new business selling romance novels online makes more profit in one day than I normally made in a month through my AdSense account. I'm placing a link to her webpage below in the description box. It would be far more profitable for family income for me to help her business through videos promoting her books than trying to drum up revenue through ads on my videos. So where do I go from here? I plan to continue to develop my YouTube channel. If you're a subscriber, you won't notice much difference in the way I do things. One of my long-term projects is to complete my online Algebra 2 course. I'm about halfway through. Since I'm now teaching calculus, I plan to do a playlist of calculus lessons as well. For revenue in my business, I plan to better promote my critically acclaimed 2-DVD set using the graphing calculator, Everything You Need, Nothing You Don't. I have plans to create more DVD sets as well, maybe one on using the TI Nspire graphing calculator, maybe one on programming calculators. And I also have a website where I could insert playlists and sell ad space there if I can get around to doing it. I did recently receive an email of inquiry to see if I would like to contribute my videos to a video library at a site called backpack.tv that will have video sharing from ads in videos shown similar to the AdSense deal. Who knows how that will work out. If there has been a positive about getting my AdSense account disabled, it has been an opportunity for me to reassess why I do what I do, teaching and having my videos be a major component of that effort. I hope that if you're considering selling ads with a Google AdSense account, that my experience will not discourage you. I think it's a good program. If I had to do it again or should somehow get another chance with Google, I would use a browser with ad blockers to avoid possible problems. This has been my Google AdSense account was disabled. Is it fair? Thanks for viewing.